going to take a look at some more things related to perimeter. Now we know that perimeter is the distance around something. So anything that you would put around something else. For instance, I could find the perimeter of Scout's easel. I could find the perimeter of my yard if I wanted to put up fence. I could find the perimeter of my room if I needed to put up something like baseboard that goes around the room. I could find the perimeter of a blanket if I wanted to put some lace around the edge of it. So, perimeter is the distance around, and we remember that we find perimeter by adding. Now, there will be times, though, that maybe I've got something missing, and I've got to figure out what's missing. So we're going to start with a very simple example here, okay? So this is a triangle, of course. Now, I'm going to tell you that, let's see here. Okay. I know two of my sides, and then I'm missing a side. But I am going to tell you that the perimeter of my triangle, P stands for perimeter, is 21 inches. So of course these would all have the inch label. Okay. So I'm going to use what I know to figure out what I don't know. So if I know the total distance all the way around this thing should be 21 inches, let's first figure out how much we already know, what we can account for. So we know to find perimeter we add. So let's add 7 plus 7, which is, of course, 14. But the whole total is supposed to be 21. So let's think about if we had a part whole, like we've used, you've used these things since first grade. If I know my total is supposed to be 21, I know part of it is 14. What am I going to do to figure out the missing part? Well, of course, we're going to subtract, right? So let's do 21 minus 14. Of course, we can't do 1 minus 4, so we're going to regroup. How about 11 minus 4, which is 7? And of course, 1 minus 1 is 0. So we think that this missing side is 7 inches. Now let's think, how could we go back and check that and make sure we're right? Well, if I know all my pieces, they should all add up to 21. So 7 plus 7 plus 7, or in this case, 7 times 3 is 21. So let's look at one more example. So we'll erase this real quick. Try not to wiggle the phone too much here. Okay, let's try another example now. Okay, definitely not a rectangle, right? But it is a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. So let's say that we've got 12 and 14 and 11. And let's say that our perimeter all the way around should be that. Okay, so our perimeter is 45. We know 3 of the sides. We're missing this side length here. So once again, let's take a look at what we know. We know everything should add up to 45. So we're going to add what we know so far. So we have 12 plus 14 plus 11. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. So we know 37 out of the 45. So let's put that into a strip diagram just to show ourselves what we know. So I'm going to draw it this way this time. You've seen it drawn many different ways. So our total is supposed to be 45 because your perimeter represents your total. And we know 37 of that total. And we're looking for this missing piece. So again, if we're looking for a part, we know we're subtracting. So let's do 45 minus 37. 5 minus 7, not going to happen. So we're going to regroup. So now we have 15 minus 7, which is, of course, 8. And, of course, 3 minus 3 is 0. So we think that this missing piece over here, ooh, that's an ugly 8, is 8. So let's double check ourselves now. We already knew 12 plus 14 plus 11 was 37. Let's add that other 8. 8 plus 7 is, of course, 15. Regroup. 1 plus 3 is 4. Yay! We got 45. So when we're finding a missing side length, use what you know, add the sides you have, and then subtract from what you're supposed to have, what your total should be for your perimeter.